waiting on you, Jake.
All right, you rolling it? Yes, sir. All right, Coach, maybe just start for your initial thoughts.
Good win yesterday against Western. Great playing Sunday afternoon game. That was first time here in my 7 years doing that. Thought the crowd was really good. A lot of energy the last 10 minutes and helped us pull out a great win and put that behind us. And now we get ready for a good Arkansas State team on the road, 6-3. Beat St. Bonaventure and Austin Peay in their last two games. So it'll be a tough test for us on the road.
Questions?
What can you say about your team? They just always find a way. If they need to adjust, they adjust. Somehow they find a way to win.
Yeah, yesterday we had opportunities. We were up 6 in the first half and had a couple breakdowns. Couldn't get it double figures. We had a funky start with Ed having to sub out right away, twisted his ankle. Credit Western Kentucky, for being resilient all game long. Second half we got up 8 right away, and again Ed got in foul trouble, and they did a great job of getting back in the game, and it was up 6 back to tied, and then it was up 10, and then they still made another last run at it. But our guys have battled through a lot of adversity. Proud of their resiliency and proud of the seniors' leadership.
How do you rate your depth right now? You've got 3 guys averaging about 30 minutes a game. Isaiah at 33. Is it still needing to be expanded, or is this what we're going to have?
It's like I was sitting there today in my office. If you're coaching Isaiah Cannon, are you going to sub him out just because you want to get depth? You know what I mean? I don't know if I want him off the floor. I don't know if I want Ed Daniel off the floor unless they really need to be off the floor. So the way you have to look at it is our team changed when Zay got in trouble, when Latrez got his injury. Our team changed. Instead of having a projected Brandon Garrett and Dexter Fields, a senior and junior, coming off the bench, you have 6 freshmen. I've been here 7 years. If we had 1 freshman really helping us and contributing, that was terrific. 2, man, really good. But to have 3 or 4, I haven't seen that before. So each game's different. Yesterday in the post, Zay Henderson was the better matchup with Fant Nicole. Jeffrey Moss went through his injury. I thought he was giving us some good minutes. And CJ's just got to find his spot time because he's playing behind Isaiah. And I want Isaiah on the floor 37, 38 minutes. And Ed, if he's put himself physically in shape where he can play 33, 34, 35 minutes. He only played 28 yesterday because he sat 6, 7 minutes because of foul trouble and came out in the first half because of his ankle injury. So I don't know if it's as much a depth or we've got a good starting group that needs to be on the floor a lot. But Jeffrey, played 17 minutes. Zay played 14. And if you look back last year at our team, played 7 guys a lot. And then Brandon and Stacy kind of found their time when they were 8th and 9th guy. So we got to get our bench better, and that's what we'll work on. We'll continue to work on that.
You mentioned Ed's ankle injury. Seemed like he was able to shake it off.
Yeah, he's fine. He was in office this morning. He's actually taking a winter session class so he can graduate. And he was by the office, talked to him, met with him for about 15, 20 minutes. He's fine. Feels good.
Can you talk about the younger guys? Being able to play those matchups, you got to feel pretty comfortable with that, having those younger guys you can put out there in different spots.
Yeah, every one of our post guys is different. So now you go to Arkansas State, and they've got a totally different team. They're a little smaller. So maybe Eric McCree's a better matchup, or maybe Tyler Rambo, or maybe play 4 guards, or Zay Henderson may not be the perfect matchup to guard in that game. So each game is kind of presents its own dynamic in who you need to play. I think our guard rotation is pretty much set. The post rotation is, I think, one that can change from game to game.
You have to kind of nurture the freshmen a little bit. Is there guys that I know played all the time last year that suddenly they played very little? Is there a balance that you have to, strike with them so they can mentally stay with what they're doing?
Yeah, it's tough, and I talked to Ed about that today. That's one of the things I talked to him about, making sure he's talking to those younger guys, talking to Taryn, talking to Eric, because Eric shows a lot of flashes in practice of being a really good player, but our schedule has lent itself to where we've got to have a lot of experience on the floor. I mean, we played a good schedule, a demanding schedule, and it's not doing anything but getting harder this week. So, what you do, you got to spend time with them. You got to text them. You got to tweet them. You got to make sure you know you ain't forgot about them. We do some split workouts. We'll do a split workout today. Get our older guys a little bit of rest and get our younger guys a little bit more work. But it's all part of our job to make sure they know they're still a part of it. And we need them to get better, and they've got to get better in practice too. And that's all part of it. But that's a good. I mean, that's a good question, and because it's important. You got to keep them, in a loop and make them feel happy.
Let's talk about playing basically 3 games in 6 days.
The Western game's behind us now. And we really kind of went to approach over because of our starters playing a lot of minutes so far is, the day after a game, I usually will do a split workout because we still want to be in the weight room. We still want to get our 2 lifts in a week so our guys stay physically strong. Those older guys can get some stretching in, and our strength coach does a good job, and talked to him last night on the phone about what we needed to do today. And so not really worried about fatigue or anything. The travel now, we're traveling to Jonesboro. We're coming back home, and then we're actually going to leave for Dayton on Thursday, so we're up there Thursday night. Because with the early tip-off Saturday, I didn't want to bus all night and get up there at midnight and play at 11.
Tell us about Arkansas State and what you expect to see out of them.
Well, they came off a good win against Austin Peay. It was close at half, and then and it was really close for a majority, probably 30, 35 minutes of the game, and then they pulled away the last 6 minutes, won by 12. Very good guard in Edward Townsend, Trey Finn, 2 really good guards. Hooten, who played a lot for him last year, is actually coming off the bench now. Brandon Peterson is a good. He plays the 5 now. Kind of moved from the 4 to the 5. Him and Ed Daniel were AAU teammates. Brandon Peterson's a kid we recruited as well. We were trying to get him and Ed. We only ended up with Ed, which still worked out really good. But they play a little similar to Western Kentucky and how they play offensively. A lot of high ball screens, a lot of roll into place. But it's going to be a physical game. Coach Brady, you're talking about one of the, coach that went to the Final Four, so a tremendous coach. And we're going to have to take care of the basketball, value the ball on the road, good decision, good shot selection, and then we're going to have to defend. I thought we defended pretty well yesterday for the majority of the game. And we got to rebound. That's our one knack.
Tell us just a little bit, since we don't have enough press conference, just about Dayton too. I know in terms of atmosphere, maybe the toughest place you play in this year.
Yeah, it probably will be. And I was actually talking to Coach Smart at VCU just called because they play Western tomorrow, and we were just talking. I was asking a little bit about our team, and then they played Dayton, open up the league, and he used to work at Dayton. That's what he said. He said it's a phenomenal place to play. It's a phenomenal atmosphere. The people up there love it. It'll be 13,000, 14,000, sold out. I don't know much about the personnel outside a little bit that I remembered from Charleston or from last year with Dillard, a highly touted player out of high school. We played him last year, transferred from Southern Illinois. They got a backup guard, Kyrie Price, that we recruited a little bit. Outside of that, I don't know a lot of the names right now. I know them by Saturday, but I'll start working on them Wednesday night after the Arkansas game. But good program. They had a great win at Alabama. I think I'm guessing about 7-2, 8-2 right now. Losses to Weber State at home. Late in the game, lost by 1, and then lost to Colorado. So it's going to be a tough test for us. But it's a great opportunity.
Going back to conditioning, I know in the past, Ed has been someone to ask for a sub, but you don't see that a lot from him now. Is it because he knows that he needs to stay in, or is he in better condition now this year, you think?
I think he's in better condition. I think he's taking care of his body better. I think our strength coach helped just with, stretching and some things in the weight room and different things that he's working with. But also now he knows he's a senior, and this is it, and you got to get it done. And he knows having him out there is puts our team in the best position to win. So when he needs a sub, he lets me know. But he's in the opportunity now where he can play 35 minutes a game, and I'm fine with that. I mean, he'd had just a double-double yesterday if he didn't get in foul trouble. He still had 16 and 8. He's been great. I told him that I couldn't ask for anything more. His leadership's been tremendous.
Coach, you guys have a 15-game winning streak on the road going back to last season. I know that you really like winning in front of the fans here at the CFSB Center, but winning on the road is just as important.
It is, and it's, I hope it's 17 going into Christmas. But you know, our first thought is it's not on the winning streak. It's just about we've got a good opportunity against Arkansas State to win on the road. You got to be disciplined on both ends of the floor. You got to have great shot selection. You can't turn the ball over. You got to get the right people, the right amount of shots. Make sure the right people are taking the right shots and good shots, and then you got to defend and rebound. And it's not a lot of hype on the road. It's about a lot of substance, and that's just defending and rebounding and taking care of the ball. And if we do that, it'll put ourselves in a position to win the game, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
You guys have actually been on the road a decent amount already this year, and 4 of your next 5 are on the road. Just talk about, being on the road early this season.
Yeah, 4 out of 5, and actually 5 out of 7 if you go a little bit further than that. I was thinking about that last night, and we played 4 at home and 2 on an actual road site, but 5 away from home. You can't even really look at 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 7. I just think you look at, hey, we got Arkansas State. I know we open up with Martin and SEMO to start the league. We're 3 out of 4 to start the league on the road. That's tough, because anytime early in the year, you don't know who's going to be the best team. You don't know who's going to be 4-12, and you don't know who's going to be 12-4. So everybody's going to be excited to play the first couple weeks of conference play. So we're going to get everybody's best shot at Martin, at SEMO, at P. Our home games against Eastern Kentucky, probably playing as good as anybody in our league, if not the best. So you can't even look that far ahead. We got to get ready for Wednesday night against a good basketball team.
All right, Steve, thank you.
All right. Anybody got questions for Jacob?
What do they have you doing up here? What are you doing, Jake?
I'm job shadowing Coach Prohm for FBLA.
Oh, okay. You learned any good things?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I love it.
Been with me all morning, man. What are you talking
Not
about?
yet.
But-
In the mornings I watch tape and I'm writing up my notes for the day, so I
So
sent them with
the good
Dave for a
stuff's
while.
coming up,
Yeah, the
right?
good stuff's coming.
Okay.
Just been learning how to do game notes.
He gets pizza now and
You
practice.
learn-
He'll enjoy
You
practice
don't
on
want
film.
his job already.
So he wants to be a coach, so we'll get him in there.
Good.
Jacob, what school do you go to?
Callaway Middle.
And what grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade.
Looks sharp, man. I didn't know. I told him, man, he could be casual coming to work with basketball.
All
So,
right, thank you all.
all right, thanks.